It's your friendly math tutor, Miss C, here to unlock the magic of factoring trinomials. So this is a trinomial because it has three terms. One term is x squared, the next term is 3x, and the final term is negative 10. So what we're trying to do when we factor is we are going to write this as the product of two binomials, which we'll go into in just a second. Our first task is to figure out two numbers that multiply to negative 10. And those same two numbers have to add to 3. So we're multiplying to negative 10, and then those two same numbers have to add to positive 3. So what that means is that we have to think about the factors of 10. Okay, and this is the product of two binomials. So the factors of 10, if I'm thinking right, are 1, 2, 5, and 10. And that's because 1 multiplied by 10, these two, make 10, and 2 times 5 make 10. Now, here's what we have to think about. 10 is negative. So a number times by another number, to get a negative, one of the numbers has to be negative. So if I look at 10 and 1, there is no way, if I made one of those negative, that I could add to positive 3. But if I look at 5 and 2, if one of those was negative, I could. So I'm here. So if I make 5 negative and I add that to 2, I get negative 3. So that doesn't quite work. But if I have positive 5 and negative 2, I get positive 3. So those are the factors I'm interested in. So to make an x squared, we know that it's an x multiplied by an x. So it doesn't matter what order we put this in as long as 5 is positive and 2 is negative. And this is the factored form of x squared plus 3x minus 10. If I wanted to double check that I did it right, all I would have to do is distribute. All right, on to one more practice problem. We're going to do the same thing. We are looking for two numbers that multiply to 18, and it's positive this time. So as I'm thinking, I know that a positive times a positive makes 18, and a negative multiplied by a negative makes 18. Whatever two numbers I choose have to add to negative 11. So to recap, we're multiplying to positive 18, our two numbers, and then those two numbers have to add to negative 11. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my binomial structure here. So I know that when I do this, I'm always going to have x times x. That's what makes that. And now let's think of all the factors of 18. I have 1 and 18, so that's a factor pair. I have 2 and 9. I have 3 and 6. Okay, those are all the factors. So is there any way that if I added 18 and 1 together, I could get negative 11? Or if it was negative 1 minus 18, I get negative 11? No. How about if I added 2 and 9? Well, 2 and 9 is 11. If it's negative 2 and negative 9, I get negative 11. Okay, so I could write it this way, right? Negative 2 times negative 9 makes positive 18, and then negative 2 minus 9 gives me negative 11. So this is our binomial. If I wanted to, I could also rewrite it like this, and this would be, oh, that color doesn't work. This would be absolutely correct as well. Okay, I could write it like that. Thank you for unlocking the magic of factors with me. Till next time, make sure you subscribe so you get my math videos every time a new one is posted.